The ayes to the right, 314. The noes to the left, 291. The ayes have it, and look! That completes third reading. If people who wish to leave now, please do so.
And there we have it. The ayes to the right, 314 in favour of this bill. The noes to the left, 291. This bill passes. Henry, your reaction first of all.
That is a huge moment in British politics, a huge moment in British public life. In procedural terms, this is not the end of the process. This proposed legislation still has to go to the House of Lords. In political terms, I think we can say that an assisted dying law is almost certain to come into force in England and Wales. That is a massive change to British politics. The majority was a fair bit lower than it had been when it was voted on in November. It went from 55 to 23. But it's not the majority that's going to be remembered, it is the fact of the result, and the result is that an assisted dying law is almost certain to come into force in England and Wales in the coming years.
An absolutely immense moment, as you say. Henry Zeffman, our chief political correspondent, still with me just outside the Commons chamber, just digesting that news of this bill being passed, the assisted dying bill, the terminally ill adults end of life bill, as it is formally called, proposed by the Spen Valley MP, Kim Leadbeater. It's taken its long journey, it's gone through many stages, a committee stage being scrutinised and a report stage, and some amendments voted on, many more not debated, not implemented, but it will, Henry, you're still with us, go to the Lords. What exactly happens there? Is this more peripheral changes rather than anything substantial? I'm told Henry is not able to hear us just yet, but let me just tell you what we've heard in the last few minutes. The assisted dying bill, as it's known, and it passed just in the last few minutes, 314 to 291 votes against, and momentous news, a societal change, as Henry Zeffman was just saying there. Now I'm still with Dave Sowery. Dave, we were speaking a little while ago about your experience taking your wife to Dignitas. We've just heard the result. The vote has passed. The bill will become law. Your reaction?
Relief, I think, is the main thing. It was a horrible thought that this might have failed for me and for thousands of other people who will benefit from the law going forward. I feel like I've been holding my breath for 6 months since November, since second reading. So
yes, you sound extremely emotional.
Yes, I've just had a cry. So
yeah, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you talking to us at such an emotional moment. And there are lots of people watching this who really are terrified that this will be a slippery slope to some people feeling obliged to end their lives. What do you say to people who feel that strongly in the opposite direction?
I don't think it's a slippery slope at all. That implies that you step through a door and you end up going down inevitably some slope to a sort of inferno somewhere. I view it as a door that's opening options for people. We only have to look at what's happened in places like New Zealand and Australia. They passed the law. All the concerns that we've heard here were debated there. The laws have been put in place, and now they've been successfully implemented, and to all intents and purposes, they are working successfully and, most importantly, safely. And I hope people will be reassured by looking at what's happened elsewhere.
Dave, thank you very much, Dave Sowery, for giving us your immediate reaction, a very emotional reaction to the yes vote in the House of Commons. But let's go straight to our political editor, Chris Mason, who's just outside the Commons chamber. Chris.
The Houses of Parliament, as MPs file out here, having taken part in a profound moment in the social history of England and Wales. Yes, this is not yet the law of the land, but it's overcome its single biggest hurdle in becoming so as it heads to the House of Lords, and we can say that it is likely, very likely, that this assisted dying will become the law of the land in England and Wales in the coming years, with the prospect that therefore assisted deaths could happen within 3, 4 or 5 years' time. I'm looking momentarily distracted as I watch MPs filing out, because in the next few minutes we'll attempt to hear reaction from both sides of the argument, and in particular hear from Kim Leadbeater, the MP for Spen Valley in West Yorkshire, whose private member's bill, to use the parliamentary terminology, this piece of legislation is. So it wasn't proposed by the government, although it had the tacit support of many within government. It is Kim Leadbeater who has led this legislation through.